Upadhyay, and I am just going to teach you a chemistry chapter, that is acid, base and salts. We are starting with this chapter here. That is, first we can understand what do you mean by acids. The name itself suggesting acids, base and salts. That means we are studying here the properties of acids, base and salts. First of all, we are going to study with the acids here. Suppose if I am saying what is acid? Because when we are saying acid, the normal definition when we are asking for the acids are there, that is which are sour in taste. First, we can say it is sour in taste, and we can say it turns blue litmus red, that we have studied from our lower classes also. But here in this technical definition, we are going to study with a pH scale. According to that, we can explain the acids again. Acids are those which having a H gives H positive ions inside in the solutions. They are basically called as acids. Suppose if I am saying there are the different types of acids are there. That is, they are having a different pH scale. What is pH? When I am saying for a pH is there, that is power of hydrogen ion concentration. What does it represents? It represents power of hydrogen ions concentration in the solution. That gives you the particularly how much a strong acid would be. So when we are saying, suppose if I am taking a blue litmus red, a simple test for acids. Here we are just doing a very simple test for acids. For acids, first we will discuss acids with help of simple test, that is litmus solutions test. Litmus solution test, what we are taking here, I am just taking here red litmus and I am just putting inside an acid. See, is there any change comes out there? No, the change doesn't come out. But when I am just inserting this blue litmus, I am taking here the blue litmus here and I am taking this blue litmus inside an acid, then what happens? You see the changes. It changes blue litmus red. This is the simple test for acids we can identify because it is sour in taste and release hydrogen ions concentration inside in the solution. So it can change the blue litmus red color. Similarly, when I am just understanding with the help of this pH scale, that is what is hydrogen ion concentration. Here we can say that is hydrogen ion concentration inside of the solution. That determines whether the acids may be strong or a weak. That can be understood with the help of this pH scale is there. That is pH is hydrogen ion concentration inside in the solution, and according to that presence of hydrogen ion concentration inside in the solution, it can gives you the particular color of that solution. So we will come with the first, I am just taking a small piece of paper, of pH paper. See, it is yellow in color and I am just dipping this particular solution inside in one solution. See the changes, that the color is getting changes to red in color. See, the color is getting changes to slightly reddish in color. Why? Because of hydrogen ion concentration, its acidic strength is less. When I just keep this solution inside in the another acidic strength is there. Suppose I am adding this acid. See, its color has become reddish in color. Its pH become darker, or we can say it is more acidic as compared to this acid because it is having a less hydrogen ion concentration and it is having a more hydrogen ion concentration inside in the solution. I show you one more thing is there. So see the color changes, that is reddish in color, orange in color, slightly orange in color, and then we can say that is a color changing positions are there, that is pink in color, light pink in color, it's slightly yellowish in color. See, this one is becomes blue in color, that we can say this acidic strength decreases and hydrogen ion concentration changes to OH ion concentration. So it changes from basic strength. So we can say it comes under the category of a basic strength. So these are the basic solutions we can say here. So according to that, when I am saying that is bluish in color, if the color it comes to blue in color, we can say it generally comes under the category of neutral solutions. Inside in the neutral solution, beyond that, that is 7 to 40, these solutions are generally basic in strength and they are showing basic solutions are there, and as we are moving from 14 towards 7, then they comes under the category of weak basis, and as we are moving from 7 to 14, it comes under the category of basic strength. The basic strength goes on increasing continuously. Similarly, when I say that is the strength coming from 7 to 1, their acidic strength is there, and then as we are moving towards this, that is 3 is more acidic as compared to 6, 6 is less acidic in nature, and 3 is more acidic in nature. That is acids. In natural acids, you have seen different types of acids are there. That is, we can say the common definition when we are saying it is sour in taste, it turns blue liquid red, having hydrogen ion concentration inside the solution, and it corrodes the metal. Why? Because of this H positive ions inside in the solution, they corrodes metal very easily. How? That we will show. Acids, that I am showing the different types of acids are there. That is H2SO4, it is called sulfuric acid. Inside in the solution, when I am making the solution of this particular solution, it gives 2 H positive charge inside in the solution and SO4 twice negative charge. Similarly, I can take nitric acid is there, HNO3, it is called nitric acid. It also gives 1 H positive charge inside in the solution and NO3 1 negative charge is there. When I am saying HCl, it gives you H positive charge and HCl and Cl negative charges is there. All these acids provides H positive ions inside of the solutions, so we can say they are called as acids and they are helpful for corroding the metals. How? These hydrogen ions concentration can react with any metal and get converted into its hydride form. Suppose if I am taking here sodium metal, that sodium metal is getting converted into sodium hydride. It is Na2H. It will form sodium hydride is reduced. When I am taking here potassium, it can react with it and it will form KH solution is there. So we can say here they can easily react with metals and they can corrode the metal because they are converting these particular metals inside its hydroxide form, or it is in sulfate form. It may be converted into its sulfide form, it may be converted into its nitride form, it may be converted into its chloride form, it may be converted into its hydride form. If I am taking alkali metals are there, they get converted into its hydride form is there. If I am just taking here, suppose if I am taking here sulfuric acid. When sulfuric acid is react with any metal, I can take iron metal, I take copper metal, I can take calcium metal is there. When I am just reacting it with sulfuric acid, then I can say it get converted into its sulfide form, ferrosulfate form, FeSO, and release hydrogen gas inside in the solution. Similarly, when I am just reacting it with metals like copper, it get converted into copper sulfate and hydrogen gas is released. Similarly, when I am just reacting it with calcium, it get converted into calcium sulfate and hydrogen gas is released through. So generally, whenever the acids are reacting with any metals, they can immediately convert it into corresponding forms of sulfide because they are taking sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is converted into, it is sulfuric acid, so it gets converted this particular form into ferrosulfate, in which form it is called ferrosulfate. Similarly, I am taking here copper. Copper, when it is reacted with sulfate, it will convert into copper sulfate. It gets converted into copper sulfate. Similarly, when I am taking here calcium, then it gets converted into calcium sulfate. when we are just reacting these metals with sulfuric acid, all of them are getting converted to sulfate form and release hydrogen ion concentration inside in the solution. When this hydrogen gas is released, when it is this hydrogen gas which is to be produced, it can burn with a popping sound when we take a burning candle in front of it. If we are just placing a burning candle in front of it, pretty fun experiment is there. I'll take this sulfuric acid inside and this, H2SO4 inside and this, and I'm just adding copper pieces, or I can add zinc metal in it. If I'm just adding a zinc metal in it, then what happened? It's a simple experiment that we did inside in the laboratory also. When we are just taking zinc metal, when it is reacted with sulfuric acid, it gets converted into zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas is released very immediately because zinc metal is highly reactive, so it immediately reacts with H2SO4 and get released hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas which is released from it, this hydrogen gas is released when I am just burning candle, keeping in front of it, it burns with a popping sound. This particular sound represents burning, that we can say popping sound is coming out from that. So that represents particularly the hydrogen gas is released. And these are generally the strong acids, or we can say these particular acids are called as organic acids. These acids are basically divided into different categories also that I will show you. Acids basically divided into two different categories, that is inorganic acids and organic acids. Its name itself says that is inorganic acids and organic acids. Organic acids basically consist of carbon atoms. Basically, they are consisted of organic acids are basically consist of carbon atoms like that I can take acetic acid, I can take oxalic acid, I can take formic acid, I can take tartaric acid. These are generally the organic acids we can say because they are having general carbon atoms are present. See, all of them having the carbon atoms are there. So we can say these are just comes under the category of organic acids. And similarly, when I am saying for inorganic acids, they are basically consist of sulfuric acid, like hydrochloric acid, like nitric acid. These particular acids are generally called inorganic acids, that is non-metals hydrides. Non-metal hydrides are there, that's why they are called as organic acids are there, and these are called as organic acids, and these are called as inorganic acids. They can also, these are generally strong acids. H2SO4, HCl and nitric acid, we can say these are generally the strong acids. Why we can call them strong acids? Because they gives H and positive ions inside in the solution very easily or very comfortably. They can give still the hydrogen ion concentration inside in the solution. Instead of that, if I am just taking another types of acids here, suppose if I am just taking here that H2CO3, it is basically a H3BO4, or I can take H2PO4, hydroboric acid I can take that is phosphoric acid I can take. These are boric acid and phosphoric acids are just comes under the category of weak acids. Why we can call them weak acids? Because they cannot give a chance concentration inside in the solution very easily. But here organic acids are generally comes under the category of weak acids are there. All of them are generally comes under the category of weak acids because they cannot release a chance concentration inside in the solution so easily. And whatever the organic acids contain, suppose if I am saying that is ethanoic acid. Here I can take another example there. I am taking here organic acids. Organic acids contains many hydrogen ions, but all of them cannot release all hydrogens and concentration inside in the solution. Suppose if I am taking this ethanoic acid and I am just break this is ethanoic acid, that converted into CH3CO, 1 negative charge and H positive charge. That means it releases out of 4 hydrogen, it releases only 1 hydrogen atom inside in the solution. And I am just taking oxalic acid. See, this oxalic acid also, it can gives you oxalate, and this is called acetate ion inside in the solution. It gives you oxalate ion inside in the solution and 2 H positive charges. Here it releases 2 H positive charges. I can say in the organic acids it contains all hydrogen, many hydrogen atoms are there. It cannot release all hydrogen atoms inside in the solution so easily. So these are comes under, that's why we can say they comes under the category of weak acids, and they cannot release this hydrogen ion concentration so easily. So these comes under the category of organic acids, and organic acids are generally present in our foodstuffs also, like that we can say turmeric. See, these are the organic acids, the natural organic acids are there. Natural organic acids are generally present in our foodstuffs like vinegar. Vinegar contains acetic acid, and similarly that we can say the orange. Orange is also containing citric acid. That's why it is sour in taste. If you are just putting these particular solutions over a particular metal, it can corrode the metal very easily also. Suppose if I am just taking the tomato, tomato is also that contains oxalic acid is there. That's why it is used in most of the face masks are there, which is used to clean up the faces. Or we can say in many cosmetics we are using this tomato product is there, that is oxalic acid. It is a weak acid, but it is important for our health also, and it is giving you glowing skin also. And lemon, it also contains citric acid is there. Citric acid can easily corrode the metals also. And similarly that we can say the curd which we are using. This curd is also used for a lactic acid containing lactic acid having a formula of C3H6O3. These are generally the organic acids, natural organic acids which are just contained inside in the general natural contents, which is useful for our body. If we are just taking in excess, then they causes the acidity inside in our body also. To neutralize these acids, we require the bases are also there. And now we come to the topic bases.